Get ready, Canada. The upcoming winter is shaping up to be a true classic. Think biting winds, deep snow, and temperatures that will have you reaching for an extra blanket. Our long-range forecast for 2025-2026 points to a colder, snowier season than we've seen in years. The main driver? La Niña, a powerful climate pattern in the Pacific that's set to steer frigid Arctic air across the country. Instead of mild Pacific breezes, expect a steady diet of polar cold. From heavy mountain snows in BC to deep freezes on the prairies, every region will feel the chill. Ontario and Quebec will be battlegrounds for major snowstorms, while Atlantic Canada braces for blizzards and coastal flooding. Even the north will see temperatures dip lower than usual. This winter will test our resilience, with travel disruptions, power outages, and the daily challenge of staying warm. But with preparation, we can handle whatever Mother Nature throws our way. Get ready for a winter that will remind us all of the power and beauty of a true Canadian season. So, what is La Niña? It's a powerful engine for global weather, starting in the tropical Pacific. During La Niña, strong trade winds push warm water west, letting cold water rise along South America's coast. This cooling shifts the jet stream south, opening the door for Arctic air to pour into Canada. The result? Deep, persistent cold and plenty of snow, especially in the west and central provinces. The altered jet stream creates active storm tracks, setting up frequent heavy snowfalls in BC's interior, Ontario, and Quebec. For 2025-2026, we expect a weak to moderate La Niña, enough to flip us from recent mild winters to a much colder, snowier reality. Not all La Niñas are the same, but this one is the main driver behind the dramatic shift. When you hear La Niña, think cold, snow, and a winter that demands respect. It's the key to understanding why this season will feel so different. Prepare for a winter orchestrated by this chilly conductor. The stage is set for a season that will test us all. The past two winters felt less Canadian thanks to El Niño's milder influence, but 2025-2026 will be a dramatic return to form, a true flip from warm to cold. Expect prolonged deep freezes and significant shovel-worthy snowfalls. Gone are the days of green grass in January. Snowbanks will linger for months. Think back to the winter of 2013-2014, when the polar vortex brought record lows and ice storms. This year could be similar, especially for the Prairies, Ontario, and Quebec. The real shock will be the persistence of the cold, with long stretches of below-average temperatures. This isn't just inconvenient, it brings real risks, blizzards, ice storms, and more frequent travel shutdowns. After milder winters, many may be unprepared for the full force of a classic Canadian season. This winter is a wake-up call to focus on readiness. The risks are higher, but so is the reward, a return to the winter many remember. Prepare for a season that will test and define our resilience. In British Columbia, winter will be split by the coast mountains. The lower mainland, including Vancouver and Victoria, faces a wetter, stormier season with more rain, wind, and a higher risk of rare snow events. Move inland and up in elevation, and it's a snow lover's dream. Whistler, the Okanagan, and the Kootenays are set for a banner year. Expect heavy mountain snowpack, but also heightened avalanche risks and frequent closures on major passes. The interior, like Prince George and the Cariboo, will be colder than average, with plenty of snow and deep freezes. The most extreme weather will hit when Pacific storms clash with Arctic air, bringing intense snow even to lower elevations. December and January are prime for these dramatic events. For BC, it's all about location: wet on the coast, snowy in the mountains, and cold in the interior. Prepare for a relentless season, no matter where you are. This winter will be one to remember for all of British Columbia. Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, brace yourselves for the epicenter of the cold. La Niña and the polar vortex will lock frigid Arctic air over the prairies, bringing long stretches where temperatures barely rise above -20. Wind chills could plunge into the -40s or 50s, making this a dangerous, demanding winter. Snowfall will be near or slightly above average, with frequent lighter snows and relentless blizzard conditions. Drifting and blowing snow will create poor visibility and treacherous roads. The cold will be unyielding, with two main waves, late December through January and another in February. Infrastructure will be tested, expect power outages, frozen pipes, and travel shutdowns. After recent mild winters, the duration and severity of this deep freeze will be a true test of endurance. The prairies will need every ounce of preparedness and resilience. This winter will be a defining challenge for the heart of Canada. Ontario and Quebec are set for a stormy, high-impact winter. Here, Arctic air collides with milder, moist air from the Atlantic and US, creating the perfect setup for powerful storms. Expect a colder-than-average season with above-average snowfall, especially in snowbelt regions and along the St. Lawrence Valley. Southern Ontario will see frequent lake-effect snow, while Toronto and Ottawa face major snowstorms and bouts of intense cold. Freezing rain and ice pellets will be more common, making travel hazardous. Quebec will be hit by several major nor'easters, bringing blizzards and some of the country's highest snowfall totals. The cold will follow each storm, with dangerous wind chills. The most volatile weather is expected from mid-January through February, with the biggest storms and coldest temperatures. Disruptions, school closures, flight cancellations, and power outages are likely. Residents should prepare for a long, tumultuous winter, with few breaks. Atlantic Canada's winter will be defined by powerful nor'easters tracking up the coast. La Niña favors these intense storms, bringing a mix of snow, rain, and ice to the Maritimes and Newfoundland and Labrador. New Brunswick will see the most snow, while Nova Scotia and PEI face a tricky mix depending on each storm's path. Mixed precipitation events will create dangerous, icy conditions and threaten power lines. Newfoundland is in for a stormy, windy winter, with major blizzards and hurricane-force winds possible. Labrador will be locked in a deep freeze, with frequent blizzards and extreme cold. The peak storm season runs from late January to March, when ocean warmth fuels explosive storm development. March could be especially snowy, living up to its in-like-a-lion reputation. Residents should prepare for power outages, coastal flooding, and being snowed in for days. A well-stocked emergency kit is a must for everyone in the region. In Canada's north, Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut, winter is always harsh, but this year will be even more severe. La Niña and a stable polar vortex will keep the coldest air locked over the Arctic, pushing temperatures far below already frigid norms. Yukon will see prolonged, deep freezes, with places like Dawson City dipping below -50 for days. Snowfall will be near average, but dry and powdery, leading to frequent blowing and drifting. The cold will settle in early, and won't let go until well into spring. The Northwest Territories and Nunavut will experience the most extreme, persistent cold in the country. Temperatures in Yellowknife and Iqaluit will regularly drop into the -40s, with wind chills even lower. Blizzard conditions will be frequent, creating whiteouts and isolation for remote communities. The greatest challenge will be the relentlessness of the cold and the risk of being cut off from supplies. Preparation is critical. Stock up, winterize, and have contingency plans in place. With a classic Canadian winter ahead, preparation is essential, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Start with your home, check your furnace, seal drafts, and make sure your heating system is ready. Assemble a 72-hour emergency kit with food, water, flashlights, a radio, first aid supplies, and warm blankets. Prepare your vehicle, install winter tires, keep a survival kit in the car, and always have at least half a tank of fuel. Stay informed, monitor local forecasts, and heed weather warnings from Environment Canada. Adjust travel plans when storms are approaching. These simple steps can make all the difference in staying safe and comfortable. A true Canadian winter can be beautiful and memorable, if you're ready for it. Take action now, and you'll face the season with confidence. Embrace the challenge and enjoy the best of what winter has to offer.